My name is Dev Pinn. So it's my American name actually. My full name is like Vasudev Pinnamaraju. So I'm from South India. So I moved to LA from last 5 years and US from last 10 years. So I am a full-time filmmaker based out of LA, and my goal is to make a proper Hollywood feature film. So that's how I'm trained for. So actually before this I made a short film called The Big One. It's with the total American cast and crew. It is based upon one of the world's biggest mysteries hidden. It's about the biggest disaster which is going to hit the West Coast. So after that I made a demo shoot for a feature film called Get Out of My Country, based upon US gun culture and hate crime. So this is my third American project. So this is in 2016 there was a news all over the world. A 3-year boy who is rescued in a civil war. He is admitted in a hospital, and before he died, the last words what he uttered are, "I am going to tell God everything." So that small news clippet broke the internet worldwide. So I don't know actually, even I am in LA, but I don't know about the Middle East and the Syria and what's going. I know there is a problem like everybody else. So that words kept haunting me. So we started doing some research actually. So we couldn't find who, where, how, and how this happened actually. So but I try to get in touch with some people in Syria, and also fortunately living in LA we have a lot of people from all over the places, like a lot of refugees from Syria, top actors and all. They don't have the safety security in their country, so they moved to US actually. So there is an Arabic community in Los Angeles regarding films. I got in touch with them, and finally I want to connect some dots and see, for example, I want to make it fiction actually, mostly because to make it more impactful. So then my journey started from from 2016 mid. So finally I'm able to assemble one by one, and the problem is to create it authentically. So it must not be like a Western propaganda for Syrian things. The first question what the Syrian community asked me, "Who are you? Why are you making this film? Is American government giving you money to make this film, or what? Why?" So I told this is about the humanity. It's one of the biggest human crisis ever in the world history, because you see any civil war after 2000, it will not last more than 1 year. In 1 year even the Gaddafi or anybody, so they will be like the common man will rise upon a dictator, and so, but here the war is happening from last 7 years. The reason is the selfishness of the people. So what's happening is in Syria the situation is there is a dictator, and people doesn't like him. They started fighting against him, and they are almost able to take control of the country. Suddenly that guy got a support from a superpower. So Iran started coming in his direction. So later on, Russia entered, US entered, ISIS entered. Who is fighting with whom? Nobody is understanding actually. So half of the people in the country are dead, half of the country is destroyed, 30% of the people escaped and they flew from the country, and it's still going on and going on and going on. So in this situation, if you take the point of view of kids, so in generally in any war they don't kill like kids and women actually. So here they have, because to take the control of the whole place, they started bombing on the civilian places actually. So a lot of kids, you see a lot of videos rescuing a 3 months baby and all those things. So there are 2 documentaries which won Oscar. So I want to I want to make a different point of view, from a neutral point of view. I don't want to go into any side or anything. See, the fundamental principle what I know is, for every religion will try to teach peace. The only thing the analogy, every religion teaches that you must not hurt even an ant. So the main scene of the film is the kid is playing with an ant. He's putting the ants in the aquarium. His mother tells him, don't do that. So he doesn't stop. So he tells him, if you kill the ants, they will die and they will go to God and they will tell about you. So that is implanted in the kid's mind actually. So later on, a lot of things happen. A lot of people are dead. His family is dead, and he is also half dead. So in the hospital, to an American doctor, because he asked to an American doctor, that's why it came to outside the world actually. So he asked the question like, so doctor will say, you are going to die soon. So he says, I will tell to God everything. So that's the actual incident, how it happened. So we made it like, that analogy, so that ant. And so I just want to go to the fundamentals of life. When adults are forgetting the fundamentals of life, why these religions, why these countries are formed, a kid has guts to question the foundations of humanity. So for me, as a filmmaker, I saw the point. I am not a Syrian, I am not in the actual ground, but as a filmmaker, so the most powerful stories are told in very short actually. I chose it to be a short film. I have enough funding to make a feature film, but I don't want to make it like, very long and thing one. Because my analogy is how I am impacted, how I am like excited, I want to know about the incident, because the single sentence, don't tell Sunni, Sahi is this, that, no, like, don't make it a big story. The fundamental, I want to go to the fundamentals actually. So that's why we have chosen to make it as a short film. We have casted some Syrian stars, everybody who acted in the films. It's a SAG union, SAG-AFTRA. SAG is like Screen Actors Guild of America. It's a world, it's like the most powerful organization in Hollywood. So the project is a SAG-AFTRA, even it's a short film. And the kid who acted, he's a star actually. Coincidentally, he's an Indian kid. So there is actually when I started telling the Syrian story, the Syrian community got in touch and we casted hundreds of kids actually. But the problem is, of the kid of 4 to 5 age group, controlling and we have to extract acting from him actually. And also this is very sensitive. If he says the dialogue, it has to be more impactful. So we audition, but this kid is doing very good actually. So he is extraordinary. So, but the Syrian community doesn't like it. Why you are making an Indian protagonist and an Indian director, and why? So they brought few people. The mother role, like there is a lady called Noor Bitar. She's a refugee from Syria, and she has 2 daughters, and one of her daughter also acted actually. We tried to cast some like her nephew, but this kid is exceptionally good. So even they recommended him, and we taught him little bit of Syrian Arabic. And so that's how it happened actually. So we recreated Syria in Los Angeles. So in Los Angeles actually, in most of the Hollywood films, there is a Middle Eastern set actually. If you go there, it will look like a Middle Eastern set, the hills and the land and everything. So somehow we are able to pull all those, and we made the film in an authentic Syrian with authentic Syrian actors. And so that's the my journey about the film. So, and see, because my goal, see, I made this film to prove in my filmmaking career, if I take any backdrop, even it's a Syrian or Arabic, even though I am not Syrian, even though I don't know Arabic, I am able to portray to the world very effectively and very authentically. See, the best compliment what I got is, there is one Syrian lady who is attending the seminar, the show actually. She told, we don't have guts, we as Syrians, we don't have guts to tell and complain about the superpowers, that superpowers are the reason for doing all this. So you guys did it, what we cannot do. So that's the ultimate, purpose of filmmaking actually. So when we are able to touch the real lives actually, and also explain the world about the real problem. See, if somebody asks about the Syrian problem, they will say 1 hour lecture. You can't understand anything, the names of the groups and all. So I told in a very effective, taking an ant and a kid, the backdrop which is like, like wrapped around with an interesting family and all those stuff. So actually, this is almost like second or third. This is a major film festival we attended actually. So I'm very happy for the thing whatever like is given, and also because of my film career, my next film is about an Indian lady like who is fighting against US gun culture and competing against Trump. So I need an Indian protagonist actually. So I need some kind of identity here, like in the Bollywood.